So you've decided to sell. Congratulations, you got to that point. That's the big one, just making that decision. Now, I used to be a rehabber. My husband, a former husband, deceased husband, I should say, him and I, we used to buy houses and fix them up and sell them ourselves. We didn't use a realtor, but I've changed my mind about that. I think once you have done all this work, you still need someone to see it with fresh eyes and someone to push this forward for you. Because a lot of people, they're afraid to purchase it home from somebody when it's for sale by owner. I remember one home I had for sale. I had an open house, and I did sell the house with no problem. But the couple who did come there to look at it was very afraid to, because they were working with a realtor and they just didn't know how to approach it. They had been looking at the house before I had an open house and wanted to see it. Once I had the open house, then their fear left them. They felt like they could come in and come through the house. So you need that buffer between you and the buyer. You need a good realtor. And we'll talk about that later. I'm going to try to just cram a lot of information so you don't have to be going all over YouTube trying to. There's a lot of good programs on how to get your house ready, but they're strung out for so long. So I'm going to try to get the main points to you because I'm taking the wisdom, the things that I've learned on my own, and plus just to refresh my memory, I looked on YouTube and I went over a lot of things that other people were saying. Okay, number one thing not to do, and get a paper and pencil so you write these down. You're not going to remember them all. You can pause it for a minute and go get it. Don't make any large improvements, particularly in your kitchen or in your bath. Those two places, the bathroom and the kitchen, are very expensive to make any big improvements. And I'm talking about countertops and putting in new cupboards and new appliances, stuff like this. Very expensive. You're not going to get your money back. And the easy way to think about this, when the bank, they want to make sure they're going to get their money back if they gave you a loan. So they want to make sure that the home that they're loaning you the money for is worth it. But all they're looking at is homes, I think within maybe a 5-mile area, homes that have already sold. They're going to look at the square footage that compares to your house, how many bedrooms, whether it has a garage, stuff like that. And they're going to see what they sold for. They're not going to look at your house and go, oh, well, their house is worth more because they did all these improvements. Sad, right? Not only that, you can do improvements in the way something you like. It might not be what the buyer is looking for. Actually, buyers like to come into the house and make their own improvements. They want to do it their way. So this just makes sense because I've seen people, and it's happened over and over. They make all these big improvements, and even if the buyer likes it, they're still not going to get their money back. So don't do it. If your cupboards are painted already, they're already painted, and they just need, let's say you have some white cabinets, but they're just needing a refreshment. Just refresh them with some paint. That's good. The things you can change that are not expensive and it's very easy to do, and you can do it yourself. In fact, I did it in the home I'm living in now. My kitchen had Well, I have wood cabinets that are in good shape, but the poles and the knobs were um, gold. There was nothing wrong with them. They were beautiful knobs and things, but they're just kind of outdated because now it seems like people are using a lot of black or silver, especially I think like a brushed silver. And I think there's even bronze and things like that they're using. But those I purchased on Amazon at a really good price. I got a big bag of poles. Or no, not Amazon. I actually went to eBay. eBay is a good place to get stuff like that. And I got big, I think they were like 40 poles for like, I maybe paid, if I even paid $30 for all of them. Because I have a lot of cupboards in my kitchen. I changed all the cupboards, doors, and the poles. Uh, and I took all of them, I saved all of them, put them in a zip bag, and donated. Because there's a lot of rehabbers or people who could just don't have a lot of money that could use them. Then in the bathrooms, both my bathroom and the guest bathroom, I took off the gold handles and put black ones on. Oh, around the mirror in my bathroom. I'll put a picture of that on here somewhere. I've got what they call peel and stick. It comes on a roll just like tape would be, and it comes in different widths. It's about yay deep, the one I did, because I have a real big plain mirror in my bathroom. But what I'll do is I'll put I might add this onto it somehow, or a link. You can see what I did. It sticks right on the mirror, and it has a wood grain in it. I think it was like $8 or $9. It looks like I have a nice wood black frame around my mirror, and nobody knows that it's peel and stick. Even when I tell them, they go, "What?" And they gotta reach up and touch it. Things like that, inexpensive. And then just the towel racks. I took off the silver and put on some black towel racks, and just some fresh new towels and a nice throw rug. I won't go into all that because I'll actually make sure I'll show you a video on that, what I did. Don't replace windows. Windows are very expensive. You will not get your money back. But the thing you can do is if you have any broken windows, make sure you get those fixed. If you have any trim that's rotted, get that repaired. I mean, you don't have to do all this yourself. Oh, don't use WD-40 on your windows if you can't open them. You want to do it. It's just so enticing to do. It turns gummy. No, don't do it. Use like a silicone spray. You might even be able to use that silicone spray used on garage doors. If you have any locks that are broken, fix those. Do not replace any major appliances. Don't put in a new refrigerator or a new stove. Clean them up really, really good. I mean, get inside that oven and clean it, and take everything out of the refrigerator and clean it. Just make it real clean. And if it needs repair, get it repaired. And I've got more. You know what you tend to want to do is you'll see things that need to be fixed, and you like, oh, I could kind of cover that up, or maybe they won't notice that. It doesn't work. What will happen is if you do get a buyer, their bank is going to send out an inspector because they want to inspect they're covering, their self, because they're loaning you this money. They want to make sure that this house is in good shape. So the inspector comes out and he's going to check all this stuff. Now, if you have buyers that you haven't told the truth to, or you haven't told the truth to the realtor, you may fool them, but that inspector is going to come out and this couple is all excited about buying your house. And then this inspector finds all this stuff out. And you never know who you're going to get. Some inspectors don't make a big thing out of everything. Some of them, and you don't know who you're going to get, will just blow up everything, make it bigger than what it is. So, if there is something that needs to be fixed, do it. Just hire somebody to do it, or if you're able to do it yourself, do it yourself. But have it done properly, because they're going to check that. So, leaks. If you have any leaks in your house, get that fixed. Update all your light bulbs to LED, because the more light you have in your house, the bigger it looks, the brighter it looks. So check and see, especially if something's burned out. Get that all changed. Do you have any flooring issues? I'm not saying change your flooring, but say the tile, is there a cracked tile? Usually you'll find in your attic or somewhere in your basement where they've saved a few pieces of that flooring. Maybe you'll be able to find it. I don't know, some like it, but try to get that fixed. Check and see. Say if you got carpet that's old, the wood floors are really in now. Check under the carpet. Just go into one of the corners and just lift the carpet up carefully and see if you've got wood floors under there. Sometimes, and I had this happen, I purchased a home in Highland and I didn't like the flooring. And then I start thinking, I wonder if there's what the floors are like underneath there. And this is in a lot of houses I rehab too. I found this, especially where older people had it, as beautiful floors underneath. They just needed to be cleaned. They weren't even beat up. So that's something. Now, if you don't want to do that, because it's a possibility they're in a bad shape underneath there, and that would be an expense to get those redone. If you don't want to get into that, but you could say in your listing you have wood floors under there. They need some updating, need to be refinished, but at least you know what's under there. Don't replace the carpet unless it's in a really bad shape. Have it professionally cleaned. You'd be surprised how they can make that just look a whole lot better. And because replacing, and it seems like most people don't want the carpet anymore anyhow. So, but at least they can move in and they've got nice clean carpet. Clean your baseboards. Make sure the baseboards are clean. If you're able to do it, get down on your hands and knees. That's the best. My mom always does that. You got down there and really clean that baseboard. Just get a bucket of water with some cleaning supplies in it, and get a rag and get down there, or a sponge, and clean it real good. How about, if you have any electrical things that are hazardous that need to be replaced, do that, because that's going to be checked. If you have any leaks in your roof, definitely need to get that done. You know what? Whether you're going to sell, whether you're going to stay or you're going to sell, it needs to be done. All of these things need to be done. It's just, we start living with it and shoving it aside. You can't keep doing that. That's why it's best in your home. Just do it right. fix it because it's going to come back and bite you in the bottom one day if you don't. And that way you don't have so much to do all at once. Do not, what if you got wallpaper in the house? Don't paint over the wallpaper. If it's pretty good shape, the wallpaper is not all torn or anything, you can get one of those, let's see, what is that called? It says Mr. Clean, and it's a little white squares they have, and you can get all the fingerprints and everything off with it. If you paint over wallpaper, you could cause that wallpaper to start bubbling up underneath, and you're going to make it really hard on anybody who buys trying to take that wallpaper down with paint over it. Yeah, don't do that. Your outlets. You got to make sure all your outlets are working. I know, and I don't know what it's called, but if you go to the hardware store, you can tell him, I want it. You have an instrument I can buy that I can check my outlets, and it's a simple, inexpensive thing, and you just plug it into the outlets to see if they work. Because when you have a home inspection, he's going to do that. This way, you're ahead of him. You can check they're working fine. If they're not, get it fixed. I guess one of the most important things is don't be the nicest house on the block. Don't put all that money in your house because all they're going to go by, like I said, is they're going to look and see what the houses sold for that are like yours. I think within maybe a 5-mile radius. What did they sell for? Oh, they had so many square footage. Oh, they had a garage. They had 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. That's all they're going to look at. So, yeah. All right. So if you do all this updating, and yes, oh, somebody's going to buy our house because we have all that updating. The bank is not going to give them as much as you think that you can recoup all this. They're not going to do it. Because the bank, they'll send an inspector out, but they're not going to have some home decorator come out and look at it. It's just the way it is. Oh, let's see what else. My last one of them. Yeah, that was basic thing. They're gonna look at the recent sales. Okay, I've got more. I've got so much. I'm trying to get it all together for you. All right. I was hoping I could get everything in this one video, but it's going to be too long. But I've got several more here, several more things. All right. A clean, outdated home is better than an updated house that's dirty. When people walk in, all their senses come into play and they can't get it out of their head. If your home is cluttered with too much furniture, and that happens to all of us, we gradually add things like a recliner. Oh, well, mom's got a recliner, dad needs a recliner. Somebody's selling this really nice chair. We'll put that, and pretty soon our house is just crowded. Now, you have to make decisions. If you're planning on keeping it in your next move, I would say rent some storage. Get a storage unit. And they say, this sounds really wild, right? They say to get rid of about 50% of your furniture. If you go on Zillow and look at the way homes are set up, they have a sparse amount of furniture. You don't want to get rid of too much. You want it to look homey. But if I've done this, just take a picture of your own living room, kitchen, or bedroom. Now go to Zillow and look at those professional photos with a sparse amount of furniture in it. You're going to look at it and go, oh my goodness, I got to get rid of some of this stuff. This might be a good time to sell some stuff and get rid of it. But if there's things that you positively want to take to the next house, put it in some storage while you're getting your house ready to sell. The walls, if you have like a red wall or black wall, this, some people can't get past this. It's going to make the house look smaller. Painting is one thing you can do, and most people can do it themselves. Be careful. Tape off so you don't get paint on your woodwork. Do not do that. Be careful about it. If you just hate painting and you can afford to have someone do it, it's well worth it. The color I used in my house, I'll just give you a little help. It's called Chantilly Lace. Yeah, Chantilly Lace. I'll try to put a link, or I'll put in description who it was by. But it is the lightest color on the chart, but it's not stark white like a hospital. It's it has a little yellow or creamy color in it. Like there's a little sunlight, I'll put it that way. So, but, and I don't get gloss, don't get semi-gloss. Stick with just flat paint. Flat paint covers a lot of sins. It just covers a lot of things that could be possibly wrong with your walls. That's a really good point. Ceilings, keep those white. Nice white ceiling and a very light color, neutral color on the walls. A house that no matter what color they have or what color they like, they can move right in. You know, one of the most important things you need to do when all these repairs are done, get a cleaning team to come in and really clean everything. Get the windows clean, get the fans cleaned, get your cupboards cleaned on the inside and out. This is a good time to start unloading those cupboards. This has to be done anyhow when you move. Get a box and start, you know, getting rid of all this so it looks real roomy in your cupboards, and just put what you use day to day. Just a few things. Besides that, it's just, it makes you feel better when there's not so many dishes. Right now, I got a lot of them. I really do. So I do understand how that happens. Oh, on your refrigerator, take all the magnets and pictures off the refrigerator. The customers need to come in and see this as their home. They need to see it with their pictures. They need to make it theirs, but it's hard for them to get past all your family photos and all the stuff on your refrigerator. Take everything off of the counter in the kitchen, except maybe a coffee maker. And you'll see that when you look at professional photos, they don't have hardly anything out. And on your nightstands. Now, what I've done sometime when I'm filming in the bedroom, I just take and put things in a shoebox or something and shove it under my bed, and then I can just pull it back out afterwards. If your furniture, the things that you do have for furniture, if they're kind of in a bad shape, you know you can buy covers for them. Probably on Amazon or eBay. I don't know about what stores sell them, but you know, I tuck them in real nice. At least it's neat and clean looking. Make sure they're nice neutral colors. Oh, now getting back to the boring stuff like smoke detectors. They are going to check. The inspector is going to check for smoke detectors if they're working, and also carbon monoxide detectors. Now, you can double check on this, but from what I heard, if your smoke detector is 10 years or older, you're going to have to replace it. Smoke detectors are not expensive, and actually you can buy a bunch of them like on probably eBay or Amazon. Are there any seals broken in your windows? And the way you'll know that is if it's foggy, that's what happens. It gets all foggy when the seal's broken. So you need to get that fixed because they're going to find that. And then right at the last minute, when you're trying to get the house sold, you got to get all that repaired. You got to find a repairman. Do it now. Get it over with. Are there any leaks under the sinks? They're going to check for that. Any leaks in your tubs? Any leaks around your toilet? Any leaks by your water heater? Any leaks by the furnace? Get them fixed. Is your toilet wobbly? That needs to be tightened up. I think this is going to be one video, and I've got so much more to tell you. I'm not trying to overwhelm you, but these things I'm telling you are going to sell the house. I mean, when they walk in that front door, have you ever been cooking? It just happened to me the other day. I was cooking Brussels sprouts, and I didn't smell them. And then I went for a walk with the dog, and I came home. And I'm like, oh, the house stinks, And that's how you get used to the stink in your own house. So, air out the house, go outside, get some fresh air, and then come back in and see if you can smell anything. Because, a smell. And if you're a smoker, gosh, I don't know what to tell you. There's ways of getting rid of, I think, charcoal. And they have some things that can help you get rid of that smoke smell. You can't smell it when you're smoking. I'm a former smoker. I totally understand. But your best bet if to get that, don't smoke in your house. I don't know what you're gonna do. Maybe smoke in your own car. But I've walked into homes where the smell of smoke just is overwhelming. It's like, just a turnoff. Or if you have cats who have peed on the woodwork, there are products that get that out. But if you can't get it out, you might have to replace the woodwork. Nobody's going to want to buy the house when it smells like cat pee. And you get used to the odor. Oh, there's so much more I got to tell you. Okay, I got to quit on this one. Oh, I just feel like I'm overwhelming you, but it's good to know this. Just write everything down, and I'm just going to have to make one more video. Okay, God bless all of you.